The Ula Tour is Modern Adventure's first race of the season, and they sure did leave a mark. Gonna jump right in here to stage two, and late in the stage, Stefan de Bod put in a move with another rider. They were off the front for about 12K, but nothing doing. It ended up coming back together, and it was a bunch sprint for John Milan. But here's the team that was brought to Alula. At first, I was thinking maybe some breakaways, no one here for wins, but boy, was I wrong. Byron Munton and Riley Pickrell and Stefan de Bod all played a huge role in getting some really great results that we're going to run through here. But on to stage three here. After two sprint stages, this was going to be the first stage for GC. There was going to be, at the end there, it was a 5K climb, I believe, around 6%. But as you can see, Modern Adventure showing their intentions for the stage. I'm sure everyone has seen this video here, but there's this crazy descent right before the climb, big crash, people crashing at over 100K an hour. Byron Munton, the climber for Modern Adventure, he ended up hitting 113K on that descent. But here we are right onto the climb. Jan Christian is the first to hit out. He had actually got docked in the first stage, 20 seconds. So he was going to need to start taking back some time if he was going to want to win the overall. He came in as the favorite. And you can see here on this climb, the last few hundred meters, things are starting to split. The five strongest men here got away. They do have a gap, and this is Sergio Higuita. The Higuita monster is going to hit out to try to go for glory, but kind of a shock win here for the Tudor rider. He's going to take it at the line, but you can see in the background in this chasing group, we do have that figure in red, and that is going to be Byron Munton, who is going to come in here with an 11th place finish. So big result for Modern Adventure, their first big result in just the third day of the race. On to the next stage here, stage four. There were two riders from Modern Adventure in the early breakaway, just to kind of stay ahead of Crosswind Chaos. It was Robin Carpenter and Sean Christian. They did get brought back, but running into the sprint finish here, again, we got Modern Adventure on the front, taking this race on, with all the World Tour teams, the other pro teams in their first race coming together. They're going to be doing the lead out here for Riley Pickrell, trying to see if they can snap the winning streak of Johnny Milan. And here we go into the final corner just before the sprint is going to open up. A lot of riders here, you can see, took some really bad lines. And so really kind of this group about 25, you can see right there in the center of your screen, there's Riley Pickrell in red, kind of getting swamped. He's in the washing machine here. The team did a good job keeping him up front, but he's just in kind of a bad position there. You can see, but he works his way in these final meters, finds his way through the mess here, and ends up coming away with a 9th place. So this is Modern Adventure's first official top 10. So congrats to Riley. But this is on to the stage 5, the Skyviews. This is what this race is all about. This is where the GC is going to be settled. A huge steep climb, something like the last 3%, or sorry, the last 3K is like 12%. There's walls here of 22%. The break did have about 2 minutes coming to the base of the climb, but it just all got evaporated. You can see here, even only with 1,200 meters left, the breakaway still had 30 seconds. But again, Byron is doing just a fantastic job here, just staying right up in the front here. You can see him second wheel on the wheel of, I believe that's Paul Double from Jayco, staying safe, making sure he's at the front of the race. And as you can just see, this climb here is just brutal, and he's just going to stick second wheel. He's not going to take any pulls. In that little group behind is his teammate, Stefan de Bod. And so Byron is just in a great position here. Everyone kind of looking around a few times on this climb, but there's just no hiding. They bring back the last remainder of the break with about 650 meters to go, and this is a group here of about 15 still with now 600 to go. And again, the switchbacks on this climb, it is just brutally steep. There's no hiding. There's no teamwork that can do anything. It's just all about who has the legs. And now this group coming into the final 500 meters has split into 9 riders. Munton's there. He does not have a teammate. But again, Stefan de Bod is just behind, and he's going to try to make contact with this group to see if that can give Modern Adventure some numbers here over the top. And here you can see Stefan. He's pacing back into this group, but the pace is going to accelerate here. Again, this is Jan Christian trying to get something done. He knows he needs to take time on this stage, win solo because of that 20 seconds he was docked earlier in the race. And here he goes. Apologies. This is where Christian goes, and he absolutely detonates this group. You can see Munton is caught out a little bit, but this acceleration from Christian, again, just detonates this group, but it may have been a little too early. You can see he kind of blows a little bit there, and the Hagita monster is just going to counter him and go. But right behind you can see there is Byron Munton. He comes back again, South African climber, and this is where he goes. 11% just puts the hammer down and drops Christian. Christian's pedaling squares right now, so he's in a bad place right now. He's got a Kaya Raal rider with her, but it was Byron Munton who really dropped that WAP bomb right there to right at the top here, just blow this group apart. And now it's just 3 at the front. You got a quick step rider, you got the Hagita monster and Byron Munton, but they've got to keep the speed going. You got to get right on the pedals, because now, as you can see, you got 8 kilometers of flat across the Skyview plateau here. Quite often groups come back together. They've got 10 seconds on Christian, and so they need to keep the pressure on, which, as you can see, they're not really doing a great job of it. It's always an interesting situation here on this stage. Again, this flat plateau after that steep climb. Obviously, that steep of a climb, you're going to have, a bunch of diminutive climbers now on this exposed flat run-in, trying to keep the groups going. 7.7K here. As we'll pan back, we can see Christian and the Kai Raal rider. They're coming, and ultimately this is going to come back together here with 7K to go. And this is going to be your winning move from Jan Christian. You can see he hops the slipstream of the Shimano neutral service car, and that's where he gets his gap, and it's almost kind of good night at that point. It just showed an experience of Byron Munton a little bit. Right as that attack was coming from the back, he was trying to get the group organized, and before you know it, Christian had flown the coop. So he'll learn from this. He has not raced at this level. He's been a professional cyclist, but I mean, this is first big time racing at this pro tour level, and again, it's just a mistake, and Christian capitalized. But Munton is going to try to atone for that, and he's going to set off himself and try to chase down Jan Christian. You can see he pretty quickly got the gap down from, it was up to almost 20 seconds. At one point, he got it down to 6 seconds, and he's going to continue chasing. But let's take a look here at the upcoming races for the team. They're going to head to UAE Tour after this, some classics, and then back in the US for the Tour de Gila and some smaller stage races this year. So, good schedule so far that's come out. They're going to have the opportunity to both, you know, be locking horns with the World Tour teams, and then places like the Gila, they're going to ride as the favorites. So it's just going to give the team an opportunity to continue to grow. But as we get down into the final 2 kilometers, we can see the developing situation. Munton's still trying to chase solo, and de Bod has actually gotten into this next chasing group, this group of 4. So, I mean, this looks like Christian is going to stay away, but I mean, we could see 2 modern adventure riders on the podium on the final day of their first race. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more than that. But Christian's just going to continue, keep his head down. Not only, of course, does he want to win the stage, but he needs to make sure he has a big enough gap back to Hagita to win their overall. And he's going to roll in with about 10 seconds on Munton, and it's ultimately going to be enough for Christian to take the stage and the overall. But what a ride by Byron Munton and Stefan de Bod. He's going to kind of lead out the sprint here just a little bit too early. Again, it would have been amazing to have them both on the podium. He's going to end up 7th on the stage, but what a start by the team.